Hi, welcome to the Ambient iPad. Let's make some music. I'm going to start a new series today. Not really sure what to call it, so for now I'm just calling it Spin the Dial. Essentially what I'm going to do is just pick a random sound. I'll just kind of close my eyes and spin the dial of Select A on the Mellotron in a couple of different directions, and we'll see where we'll end up. First thing I'm going to do though is just set up some basic effects, so at least I can, when I land on something, I can have a start of a basis of effects which then I can build on depending on the sound and what direction I want to go in. So first thing I'm going to do is I do have this set up already with the correct inputs. I want to change the tempo down really low, like 82. I like that. I think I'll just use Mixbox for now because I have some templates that I've built within Mixbox, and it'll just make things easier. Just a basic set of effects, and I can turn them on and off as needed. So I'll have the screen going up here in the corner so you can see what I'm doing. Let's do this one, a digital delay, close. So for now it's got the compressor on. Let me turn the phaser off, turn the delay off, and we'll keep the reverb on. So we'll do that. Probably want to use spatializer, but I'll add that in at the end. No other effects really, but maybe some drums. I've been using Borsta, which is a fairly new percussion app. What this app does is objects around the house, kind of, but also percussion instruments with a focus on playing them with brushes. And I think I have a couple of things set up here. Yeah, I got a tambourine, and I also want to do another. Let's add another channel here of Borsta. I have been playing around with some of these percussion elements, so that's why I'm going with things that I already have set up. And we'll come back to this, but let's start with, what do we have to connect here? We have to connect that to the output. Let's start just with this basic set of effects. Leave that open. And right now I'm at the top of the dial, so Clarinet Mark I. I'm just going to kind of spin for a while and then spin back and spin this way, and we're on the Mark II flute. Maybe I'll break the first rule, which is whatever sound. I mean, that's like one of the classic sounds. I've used that a lot. So I would prefer, at least for this first time, to be something that doesn't necessarily have to be a sound I've never used, but not really looking for an iconic sound. So let's try this again. I'll just kind of go up a bit here and down. All right. We are on the Mellotron M300 Clarinet. Okay, let's hear what that sounds like. This is just with a little bit of compression and some plate reverb. Okay, we can work with that. I would like to make it even less sounding like a clarinet and maybe a little more ambient. So I've turned on digital delay. Maybe let's add some phaser in there. Yeah, that combination of notes. Well, let's keep going. I'd like to add a couple of Eventide effects. Micropitch, I know I could just use the chorus in Mixbox, but Micropitch is different. And it's a separate app. And it's Eventide. That's enough reasons. The other one I want to add is the Eventide QVox, which is kind of like a harmonizer. That's a way to look at it. And let's start with micropitch. So this is micropitch off, and then, oh, I should pick a preset here. How about micro chorus? So off and then on. Okay, so that just adds another kind of swirliness and doubling, slight doubling, classic Eventide effect to this phase delay sound. And now QVox, which I actually know exactly the sound I want. I just wanted to add, harmonize the lower notes rather than the top notes. There is a preset for that. It does a lot of other stuff too, so I can't control it all, but it's called low delay. Here, I'll do it off with the M300 Clarinet and then back on, keeping all that Mixbox stuff going. Let's turn it on. So you can hear some other notes added. I think it sounds different when you're higher. Yeah, depending on the notes you hit, there's some other kind of dissonant harmonies going on in there. So we can turn that off and on at some point too. So let me keep Micropitch on and then play that, a few notes from that, and then I'll turn QVox back on too. I haven't played them all together at the same time yet. That I like. Let's move over to Borsta now, and let me just turn it on. Gotta jack up the volume on these. They're not that loud, given that they're, in this case, it's just a tambourine. You can hear the brush aspect of it. Reverb and everything's fine. These are, you know, things I've set up already, patches. And let me go to the other one and add that in. Whoops. No, they're out of time. Okay, you know what? Actually, I would have that going first, so let me just add this one in. But you can hear that's not loud at all. There are things within 8 Matrix that I can use to raise the volume, or I'll just lower the volume of the Mellotron. We'll see where we end up. So I'm just going to try to catch this on the beat. Actually, it's not. Volume-wise, it's okay. And let's turn on QVox. All right, that'll work. I just want to see here, we got panning, okay. These are panned differently. This is a good demonstration of, I talk about this a lot, where with percussion and drums and reverb, even just a little bit of reverb, when it's just the percussion playing, it really is noticeable. But when you add in something else, particularly like the clarinet sound here, which has a lot of reverb on it, not only the reverb in Mixbox, but the digital delay adds even more space. So it just kind of drowns out the reverb of the percussion. That's a little overpowering to the drums, but I can fiddle with the volume during it. All right, that is my basic setup, and I'm going to reposition to, you know, the camera over my shoulder angle for taking all of this and just doing some kind of jam. That was fun. I'm going to do more of that, just kind of spinning the wheel and picking a random sound, setting up some effects, and just kind of going for it. You know, some of the improvs that I do, they have. I come in saying, oh, I want to use this sound, I want to use that sound. In some cases, I've done a little pre-planning of some melodies or at least a structure. And I kind of want to go back and forth and do some more pure, real improvs or jams, and this is a good example of that. So we ended up on the M300 Clarinet sound. I had a basic effect set up in Mixbox, which I have a couple of templates. I can just turn things on and off. And a couple of the more traditional Eventide effect, the doubling with Micropitch, and then QVox, which is a harmonizer, which added some very nice lower notes. And then, depending how I held the notes, there were some other kind of dissonant weirdness that sounded pretty cool. And for those percussion, for the percussion bit, I use Borsta, which uses percussion instruments and household objects with a focus on brushing them. So the tambourine kind of, had the brush sound on it. The other I just call metal sticks. That was more of a, because I have a slow tempo, a lot of these percussion lines sound completely different than if, for example, I was at like 120 BPM. But it's always cool to kind of slow those down, and those percussion lines just get a completely different atmosphere. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and good luck with your own music.